Who am I in 2020? Who was I before? I'm not sure I remember. I feel like I'm running through a list of talking points of things I know I once enjoyed, dead personalities of myself. I used to call myself a Southerner, but I'm not sure that even applies anymore. The pandemic keeps me from home, from the wellspring of a big part of myself. Home is fuzzy. I call my mother when I know she's making dinner or getting ready for work, just to hear familiar sounds that transport me to where she is. Even my home in Utah is in question. We're waiting to hear if my husband will keep his job at the end of the month. I was laid off from my own dream job and was unable to return when school started back due to being immunocompromised. We're supposed to be moving in a month. Will our house sell? Will we be in Utah? Can we move back to the South? Only time will tell. The theater was home to my dramatic side. When I could no longer act due to my seizures, I took refuge in the audience and allowed myself to melt into a fictional world. Now, theaters remain empty. The stages are gathering dust. I live in the desert, far from the ocean. I ache for the water. I miss seafood and the spray of the water in your face as you kayak down the river. I yearn to go fishing from a dock and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on my father's boat. My soul is a lost sailor, and the ocean is a siren. I don't know when I'll be able to answer her call. My service dog died this summer, and with him, my independence. I miss taking myself to run errands. Now I'm bound to human companions. I can't risk having a seizure alone. I've gotten lost, been robbed, and had the paramedics called on me just because my brain doesn't always function properly. I stay inside waiting for the opportunity to be chauffeured to the supermarket. My husband has become a vegetarian, which doesn't mesh well with Southern cuisine. Do you know how many animal products go into Southern cooking? If you don't, well, it's a lot. I can't cook the foods that serve as a tether to my home, to my family. I don't find the joy in cooking like I used to. My life exists in screens. I find escape in video games and in movies. I bury myself in my schoolwork and look forward to the day that I don't have to live vicariously through the stories of others. For now, I don't think of myself at all. I observe and I disassociate. I think of my past self as a character in a movie I once really enjoyed, a movie I can't rent again. This year, there will be no Friendsgivings and no Halloween parties for me. When my lung spontaneously collapsed a few years ago, it sealed my fate for the year 2020. My fragile body might meet its end if I catch the coronavirus, and as much as I feel dead right now, I hold out hope that one day I'll be able to rejoin the world I once knew. Those parts of me lie dormant, and I desperately try to revive them with self-assurance that they won't be forever unattended. One day, I'll go back to the South again. I'll soak in the Gulf of Mexico and eat seafood on a patio with my friends and relatives. I'll waste as much money as I can going to see plays, and I'll find stability with my health. But I'm not searching for who I was. I know who I was. Who am I in 2020? I only know these things to be true. I'm still kind and compassionate. I'm more studious than I've ever been, and I'm excelling in school. I know that the weather is cool and crisp, and that my evening walks with my husband have never been more perfect. I've been a better partner in my marriage. I'm home all the time to play with my dog and give him the attention he deserves. I know that somewhere, buried deep in the annals of my being, is hope for the future, and I cling to that knowledge in the hope that I'll be able to better define myself after a year of dormancy. Today, and for the foreseeable future, I try to hold this knowledge dear and remind myself that I'm still here, that I'm essentially who I've always been. There's still life to be enjoyed, even if that life is different than I expected it to be in my 29th year. And my message to 2020? Well, know that I'm still here. I'm still some version of myself, and I'm not going to let you take that from me.